Hello everybody, my name's Sinead. I am the founder of Conscious Connections and I'm joined here by my friend and colleague Geoff. And we have an event coming up, Exploring Intimacy, on February 15th, Valentine's weekend. And we wanted to come on to answer some questions about this event and give a little bit of clarity around what's happening on the day. So thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Do you have a few questions to get us going?
I do. So my first question is, who is the event for?
So the event is for everybody who feels drawn to it. There will be singles and couples in attendance. There, by default, because a large part of our audience is single people, there will probably be more singles than there will be couples, but couples are welcome to join as well. And yeah, it's for anybody who is interested in exploring what intimacy can mean outside of the bedroom, like the different ways that we can meet another person and open ourselves up to the concept of intimacy when we're not getting naked with a partner. So you might think, for the single people, I know single people often think, oh, this is the type of thing I'd love to attend with a partner. Mm-hmm. Coming to a workshop like this, you're learning tools and you're getting to practice in a very safe and held space, and then these will be practices that you can then bring into relationship afterwards. Yeah.
So with that, would it be a beginner friendly event?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So, we have the big scary word neo-tantra is in there in some of our advertising, because that is part of what we will explore, is this concept of neo-tantra. And I think a few people have reached out and asked if it is beginner friendly. It absolutely is. Most of the people coming to the event will be exploring this concept of intimacy outside of the bedroom for the first time. It might be their first time coming to an event that will have tantric elements to it. And yeah, some of the participants, or a good few of the participants, will have been in spaces with us before, but this is the first time we're doing this event, so it's new to everybody.
Okay. And so on the day, what will the event look like exactly? So what will happen on the day?
Yeah. Great. Well, we can give a little bit of scope, but we're not going to answer all. We're not
Not
going
too
to give
much.
everything away. Yeah. Has to be some surprise. So arrival is at 10:30, and when you arrive, Geoff and I will both be there. There'll be a couple of other people assisting us, just with teas and coffees and that. So when you arrive, you'll be checked in by one of us, and then you will have a place to sit in the room. We'll talk a little bit later, I think, about the venue. And there's half an hour then just to land, get a drink of water, go to the loo, grab a tea or a coffee. There'll be some biscuits and maybe a little bit of fruit for people who are travelling. So you have a little bit of time to ground. There's also some outside space if you wanted to have a little walk. And then we're starting at 11. So as it says in the booking email, the doors close at 11 sharp. You'd like to start our events with a very short grounding meditation, just to leave the day behind and land in. There'll be some agreements, there'll be some games, some giggles, some icebreakers to bring us into connection and bring us into connection with ourselves, and then also connection with other. And then the day is a flow of, we're beginning with solo practice. So to come into connection with another, we have to first be in connection with ourselves. So there will be some solo practice, some energy practices, some meditation, some sensory practices, and then we'll begin to explore emotional intimacy. There'll be some practices of meeting other people, there'll be some talking, some communication work, and then we will have a beautiful, beautiful lunch. And later in the afternoon then explore, so there'll be emotional intimacy, energetic intimacy, and then physical intimacy. So the energetic will be when we begin to come in to practice also with another and start to do some shared energy work. And then physical, it's all fully close on, very gentle sensory practices. Does that disclose enough, or did I maybe not share enough?
I think that's just right.
Beautiful. Yeah. We're going to finish with a yoga nidra as well, which if you haven't experienced, it's amazing.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
And for people who are travelling from different parts of the country, will there be accommodation nearby?
Yes, so there's no accommodation at the venue. For sure you can have a look. You can see and we'll talk about the exact location as well. So in the email when you book, you'll get the pin. You can look for an Airbnb or something, but the cities that are close by are both Ennis and Limerick. It's in the middle of Ennis and Limerick. And yeah, if you're struggling to find accommodation, you can just reach out to us, and we can see also if we can help you in any way.
Nice.
Yeah.
As for lunch options, what is available on the day?
An important
Is it
question for
provided?
you, being vegan and gluten free, right?
One of those.
Yeah. Lunch is provided. We are getting catering from Kira, who does Happy Food at Home. She does the most incredible food. So she is providing the catering. And there'll be vegetarian, vegan options and gluten-free as well. Yeah, so really, really nice food. Wholesome, nourishing.
Sounds good.
Important.
Yes, very. To keep us going throughout the day. So for, let's say, if there's a certain exercise that I don't particularly feel comfortable doing or unsure of, is it okay if I stand out?
Yes.
That I take a break and I don't have to partake in it?
Yes, absolutely. So all of our events are really grounded in consent work. So when somebody decides that they don't want to partake for any reason whatsoever, the reason, is, it doesn't matter what the reason is, we are always celebrating that no. We're celebrating that somebody has recognized in their body that they're at capacity, or they don't feel the desire to share what's been offered and want to step out. So there's always a full celebration for honouring yourself, and we're really encouraging that. And then we'll have a really nice cozy corner set up with some mattresses and cushions, and it'll be really nice. So for people who want a little bit of chill out, there'll be this area where you can go and take a few minutes by yourself and have a little bit of space.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So my next question tonight, the event is called Exploring Intimacy, and so I'm wondering, will there be touch?
Yeah. So there is touch if you are comfortable for there to be touch, but there are very clear boundaries on the touch. So the whole event is close on. There's no sexual touch. There would only be sensual, caring touch, and only when it's fully consensual and both people involved are a full yes to that. And there will always be options for any practices that involve touch. It will just be a short section of the day, so it's not based on touch-based practices. It is a part of the day, and then there will always be options for an alternative if you don't want to share touch.
And where is the event being held?
Yes. So it is in Kilkishen, which is in East Clare. As I said, it's between Ennis and Limerick. It's Kilkishen Cultural Centre, which is a church space. It used to be a church that was in use. So it's a beautiful, beautiful space and room. We've held an event there previously.
We have indeed, yeah, it's lovely.
Really, really nice. Yeah, so special.
And why is this place so special?
So besides from it just being a totally beautiful venue with big, stained glass windows, I just feel that it's so important that we're reclaiming pleasure, we're reclaiming intimacy, these parts of ourselves that here in Ireland the church has had a huge role to play in shaming these aspects of ourselves. Like, to feel pleasure was shameful. And that's pleasure in all regards, it's not just sexual pleasure that I'm referring to, but we were shamed for feeling pleasure, and yeah, we've been subjugated and kind of worn down, and the effects around sexuality and intimacy and pleasure, the effects of this strong hold that the church has had over us for such a long period of time, like we're only just beginning to come out of that now in our generation, I would say. And it's huge that we're holding an event around intimacy in a church space. And I feel that it's, especially with the style of what we're doing, which is very tender, very gentle, held with a lot of care and awareness, this is deeply, deeply healing, not only for the people in attendance, but for the psyche of the Irish people. And yeah, it's really special to me that we get to do this work in this space.
Great. And when is it on, and for how long?
Yeah, so it's Valentine's weekend, February 15th.
Of course.
Purposeful, purposefully done. And so we meet at 10:30. It starts at 11 sharp, and we're finished at 7 p.m. with a lunch break then in the middle and a couple of shorter breaks throughout the day.
Nice full day.
A nice full day, exactly. Great. It's a retreat day, yeah.
And so why did you decide to host this event?
Yeah, I think it's just so important that we begin to reframe intimacy. And I think at a lot of our events we've been doing similar work, even similar to doing neo-tantric work, the type of work that you would find at a neo-tantric retreat. But I haven't been calling it that because I feel that neo-tantra has a certain... People have their own idea formulated of what that is, and it's not necessarily what my idea of it is and what I'm sharing by sharing that work. So I wanted to bring clarity and awareness to what neo-tantra is and how we can incorporate that into our everyday life through the simplest of practices, and how beautiful it can be and how it can support this thriving, immersive, non-dual experience of life in our day-to-day. And then so that's the piece around, neo-tantra, around intimacy. I think people are craving for something more than a quick fix of physical pleasure in the bedroom. People want new depths, and people who are coming to our events, and I know I'm definitely one of these people, I'm looking for something else. I'm looking for a depth in my connections. And when people are single, and again myself included, it can be very challenging to have those desires fulfilled because we're not in partnership with somebody else. And often when we do date and we're meeting people on apps and so on, they might have an awareness of this, and when we don't really have the tools and the knowledge also to bring that, it's like we feel like something's missing, but we don't really know what it is or how to bring it into our relationships. And this is a way to fill our cup with platonic intimacy, exploring what that is with tools that then we can bring into all our relationships.
And everyday life.
And everyday life, yeah.
Nice.
And even our friendships, and bringing the vulnerability that intimacy actually requires of us.
Lovely.
Yeah, thank you. I can't wait.
Me neither. Yeah. So my final question is, let's say you're at home watching this video and you're wondering, is this event for me, or I'm kind of on the edge about like whether to go or not. Who is this event for, or should I go, in other words?
Yeah, I think if you've gotten to this stage in the video and what we've shared has been resonating, especially what we've shared now about intimacy and learning new tools, if you really would love to just connect and spend a day with beautiful people, because that's really what this day is also about. It's meeting with a group of beautiful, like-minded people and sharing a really special experience. Does what we have shared really call you? Does it resonate for you? And ask yourself, what are your reservations? Is there some fear of the unknown, or fear of it being a little bit edgy on your zone of comfort? Is that what's holding you back, or is there something else that is a question for you? And with this zone of comfort, it's like when we meet this edge and we come up against that and we just gently begin to explore that, that's where a lot of growth happens. And we're really encouraging you to step up and step into that and really own this desire for exploring something another type of intimacy that is tender, that is vulnerable, that's in community, and that's very soft, it's very gentle. Sometimes I think it's easier to mindlessly take our clothes off and meet another person naked than it is to actually remain fully clothed and reveal ourselves in this very vulnerable way through some practices on the day. So yeah, just really inviting you to step in for an exploration of that. How can that look? And know that, as it says also on our blurb about the event, like, we are holding this space with a lot of awareness and tenderness and care and presence. Yes. Which is, this work in one word is presence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So please join us. We'd love to see you there if it calls to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, great.